Good afternoon, Barbara. Today in your psychotherapy session we will work on neurotransference, which is important in treating your bipolar disorder.
I'm so glad you do psychotherapy as well as medication management, Dr. Spork. I hope you don't mind me calling you Dr. Spork. Because you manage my psychiatric medication and do psychotherapy too, you remind me of that eating utensil that combines a spoon and a fork, so I have a leaky spoon and a stubby fork all in one. You are my Sporkiatrist. It's one-stop treatment for my mental illness.
I like being your Sporkiatrist. Since I meet with you every week, I can usually remember your name. Because all my patients have 50-minute sessions, I only need a few patients to fill my practice, and I don't need so many file cabinets. Also, I don't have counselors who are not even real doctors calling me all the time to coordinate treatment.
I know you will really get to know me, and it feels good to be able to sit here and talk about myself for 50 minutes to a real medical doctor. It makes me feel important, and I always feel better when we finish.
I'm glad, Barbara, and your medical insurance will pay for it. Before we start your psychotherapy, we need to discuss how your medication is working. Do you have any side effects?
Well, it took 10 minutes to tell you how my medication is working. Now let's talk about that transference.
Yes, Barbara, how did?
Hold on a minute, doctor, that's my cell phone ringing. You don't mind if I take this call, do you?
Of course not. Since you and your health insurance are paying for my time, take as long as you want. I'll just finish the note on my last session.
Thanks, Doc. That was another 5 minutes, but we can work on my transference now.
Okay, Barb, that's directly related to these other issues. You have missed several appointments, and you were late last week. Also, it seems you haven't paid your co-pays and deductibles since the first of the year. That means you hate me, which means you need years of additional treatment.
But doctor, look at this information from my insurance company.
Well, Barb, it took another 10 minutes, but using the empathy skills I learned in medical school, I could feel your transference getting better as soon as I saw you start writing me a check, and I will get paid for the time it took to fill out all those forms for your insurance.
Thank you for filling out the forms, Dr. Spork. I won't miss any more appointments or be late because you fixed my transference. Speaking of late, I missed my medication for a whole day last week because you didn't authorize my refill on time.
Sorry, Barb. Maybe that pharmacist didn't understand me over the phone. I'll fax that refill authorization again while you're still here so we can make sure it goes through.
Thanks, Doc. I just called the pharmacy while you were sending that fax. They received it and will have the order ready by the time we're done. Now we can start our psychotherapy session.
Not so fast, Barb. We also need to discuss your new medication. It should only take about 10 minutes.
Thanks, Doc. Now I understand all about that new medication, side effects, alternatives, including no treatment, and the risks of not trying it. I'm glad we have such a long session.
Well, Barb, it was long, but I'm afraid it's all over for this week. Your time is up.
That's too bad, but I feel so much better even if we didn't do any psychotherapy today. But doctor, we've been doing this for 13 years now, and I'm not sure my bipolar disorder is getting any better.
That's to be expected, Barbara. This is long-term psychotherapy. I'm sure you'll improve once I really get to know you as a person. And eventually you might get lucky and find a medication that helps. Besides, you enjoy talking to me because I am a real doctor and because I have years of studying to be a good listener. I do wish I could charge higher fees so I could get paid as much as those psychiatrists who don't do psychotherapy.
Me too, Dr. Spork, but at least you get all the money instead of having some of it go to counselors.
And because I'm a medical doctor, I'm a much better psychotherapist than those counselors, so I should get paid more than they do, too.
You're right, doctor. Will we work on my transference next week?
Maybe, Barb, but even though you have been in therapy for 13 years, I need to finish getting your history, And since you will probably only need 5 or 10 more years of therapy, we should start working on termination so you can understand why you hate me and want to stop so soon.
That's right, doctor. I am so glad you are my Sporkiatrist. See you next week.